shooting at targets. And this is apparently the Tea Party movement. And the message is supposed to be, these people are crazy. They're angry and they have guns and they're crazy. That's the message. And what's interesting is that when they say that we're angry, they're right. We are angry. We are upset. But this whole thing started off when we saw the bailouts, we saw out-of-control spending, and some of us said, hey, maybe we should get together and we should start talking about getting back to constitutional government, getting back to fiscal sanity. Yes! And in reaction, we were called Nazis. We were accused of being extremists. We were accused of being militia members. We were accused of wanting to overthrow the government. And then they said, these people are angry, after they got done calling us Nazis. Well, I don't know, if you call us Nazis, yeah, we tend to get a little bit out of sorts. But that's what it is, and I think it's so interesting, especially the way the Tea Party seems to have morphed, because the Tea Party, the first Tea Parties I went to, and the very first I went to was in a little town called Harvey, North Dakota. We had just about the entire population of Harvey, North Dakota out at the Tea Party, and it was fabulous. And everything there was about talking about how we're angry and how we want things to change. Well, now here we are more than a year later, and the Tea Parties have turned into something new and something I think is even more exciting. We're inviting candidates out to the Tea Parties. Not necessarily to endorse them, because I don't think the Tea Party can give endorsements. I think the Tea Party is a distributed, leaderless movement, and that's wonderful, exactly how it is. But now we're inviting candidates out to be evaluated at the Tea Parties, because nothing can change unless we start sending some better people to Washington, D.C. That's the only way things are going to change. And the wonderful thing about it is it's not just that we're inviting regular candidates out to the Tea Parties. Some of the people who are actually taking part in the Tea Party, some of the people who have organized the Tea Parties, are now running for office. What a beautiful thing that this movement has served to do, to wake America up, to wake up people who maybe before knew that things weren't going so great, but maybe weren't doing a lot about it. Waking them up, getting them involved, and getting them to do the things it takes to take this country back. And not just take it back from a certain party or take it back from a certain ideology, because I don't even think we need to drill down that far. I wish we could still have debates about ideology or have debates about political parties, but it's gotten to the point where the national debt in this country isn't just a problem, it's a national security issue. We have problems. The Gallup poll just the other day indicated that the national debt ranked up next to terrorism in terms of things people are afraid of, issues people take seriously. Terrorism, national debt. Meanwhile, our Senator, Kent Conrad, from North Dakota, that's my senator, I'm from North Dakota, and sorry, by the way, for sending him to Congress for so many years. I'm actually a little sorry to say Massachusetts now has a better congressional delegation than North Dakota does. He is the chairman of the Senate Budget Committee, and they formed this thing called the Deficit Reduction Panel. And the Deficit Reduction Panel is going to sit down and they're going to make all the hard decisions it's going to take to pass to lower the national debt, to lower the deficits. That's what they're supposed to do. Well, they formed this panel. It was created on February 1st by an executive order, and now they've got their funding from Congress. They have $500,000 for 6.5 months. They're supposed to issue their report on December 1st. $52,000 a month, plus the salary for everybody involved is paid. And they're complaining that they don't have enough money. The Deficit Reduction Panel is complaining because $52,000 a month plus salaries isn't enough to sit down and figure out what's wrong with our national budget. And the thing is all we're asking them to do is math. And not even hard math like trigonometry or calculus. It's addition and subtraction. And they still can't do it. What's amazing is I was watching CNN. Jack Cafferty the other night went off and he talked about how Democrats, we may have the first Congress in the modern era not to pass a budget. Imagine that. The deficits have become so bad in an election year, our ruling party doesn't even want to pass a budget. That in and of itself is telling. But after I heard this, because they're not going to pass a budget, which to me is one thing that Congress is supposed to be doing, right? It's supposed to be budgeting. We're running $1.5 trillion deficit. Our national debt's over $13 trillion, which is larger than our economy. It's larger than our gross domestic product. And they can't pass a budget. Meanwhile, last night I read about a committee report where Senator Jay Rockefeller and his fellow committee members were going to be tackling the problem of television commercials that are too loud. They can't pass a budget, but they're going to pass federal regulation because television commercials are too loud, because apparently we're too stupid to use our television remotes. Right? This is the leadership we have. They want to know why we're angry. They want to know why we're coming out to tea parties. They want to know why we're standing in the rain in a park on a Saturday afternoon in Fergus Falls. It's because we need change. And hopefully some of the people that are here today are going to be the ones who can bring that change. I now want to bring up Arlis Kumpla. She is the 7th District Vice Chair for the Minnesota Republican Party, and she has some comments to make herself. Arlis.
Well, it's good to see so many people here in spite of the weather, and we're all here for a common cause. We all know that. I was thinking about all the things I should talk about. When I was asked to do this, I was thinking, all the things I should be doing at home. And I was thinking about this. In my town, this little town in York Mills, has a full rummage sale for the whole town. They have the big Ronald McDonald fundraiser where the motorcycles are earning money for Ronald McDonald. They also have that great think-off contest this evening. You know, the question, the theme on that is, do the rich people owe an obligation to the poor? I can guess how that one's going to come out. But here I am at Fergus Falls at a tea party, and I'm thinking about this. I was wondering, I'd rather not be anyplace else. This is where I like to be. So I'm here to talk about some things. But before I do, I'm going to ask you some questions, and I'd like a response. How do you like the new change that we have in Washington that was supposed to be so great? Oh, really? Do you think Obamacare is right for all Americans? No. Do you think our borders are safe? No. Oh, so I hear no's. I thought we were the no party, but that doesn't bother me any. We should be the no party. Being here is your first step. So what are we going to do about this? Well, there are 4 people. There's a person called anybody. There's a person called everybody. There's a person called somebody, and there's a person called nobody. And if anybody could do a job that we wanted us to do, anybody could handle it, but they didn't do it because they thought somebody would do it. And there's a person, everybody could do something, but they didn't come forward to do it because they figured somebody would do it. Nobody told somebody that they were expected to do it, so it didn't get done. Nobody came. Well, that's kind of the way people are. There's sort of an apathy. And we want today to pledge ourselves to be able to do something. And you say, what can I do? I'm only one person. Hey, you can lick a stamp. You can put something in an envelope so it can be mailed. You can go to a parade and pass out literature. You can go to a fair booth and do something there.
No.
Every one of us can do something. So we can't just say,